Jessica Rivers British ASMR. I am sorry that I haven't been posting since before Christmas, but as you are aware, life seems to get in the way sometimes. So, but I am back. So I thought I would help you relax by reading another novel. Well, it's not really a novel, so to say. We're not reading the Harry Potter sort of trilogy or anything. And if I'm honest, I can't find the book, but give me a second. I found it. Bear with me 1 second. So, I've got it. So, I was going to read another little short story out of the Bedtime storybook for adults. It's relaxing short stories that help you calm your mind and ensure a deep sleep, reduces worries and overcomes insomnia. So, shall we just be adventurous and flick through and just wait and see what page it lands on? Comment below if you like the sound of flicking through pages. Let my intuition guide me. Yeah. Okay. So it's called The Pixie with a Dream. So settle down. Maybe lie down or sit, however you prefer to relax. Take a nice deep breath in and release. Just let your eyes slowly close and listen to me read you a story. If you closed your eyes for long enough, you'd see the kitchen and the ball of dough Sandy the fairy had tried to make. Close your eyes and you'll see the messy flour crammed desks, her ruined buttery pink dress, and her bright red hair with bits of dough stuck in her curls. The kitchen was painted yellow, a bright honey yellow, which made you want to drink tea every day and look at the gardens from the window. She stared at the blueberry mixture ahead of her and frowned. Another mistake once more. She took a small portion in her hands to make sure, and it felt worse than it looked. She shook her head. Mother was going to be angry again. She hated it when she made these mistakes. And today was Pixie's baking spree. Each Pixie family is supposed to bring the food made by the eldest daughter and present it at the fair. Everyone would have a taste, and the mothers would brag about how smart, intelligent, and quick-witted their daughters were. She checked the clock. Mother would be back from the bakery soon, and she wouldn't be happy about any of this. Was there any way to remedy this mess? What proportion of lousy luck could one person have, because it seemed Sandy didn't seem to possess any. If only she was a good cook like Betsy, the gorgeous pixie nearby, who was also the best and the proudest snob. She would never greet anyone, and her head was always raised in a cloud of arrogance. Betsy was beautiful, intelligent, and honest, and her mother would never let her hear the end of it. If only she could bake like Betsy, then maybe mother would let her be. The baking spree was in full flow, and from one table to another, mothers conversed proudly about their children's expertise. Sandy stood at the rear to avoid her mother's sharp and biting comments, and the assessing look of the other mothers gave her once they acknowledged that she had not made a single thing. "Don't worry, Sandy. I know you tried. You just didn't catch on right this time," Lily said together with her beautiful smile. "If you let your mind's eye focus, you'll see Lily clear as day. All you must do is relax and follow my words." She had beautiful golden hair that makes curly waves from the top of her head to her waist. She had a shy smile, but could illuminate an entire room when it was released. She had gentle green eyes that gave you the definition of kindness. Are you able to see Lily? You can give her a dress if you like, but my Lily wore a green dress, a colour that made her eyes glow even more and made you want to follow her around the globe. Lily put a couple of her food pieces on the tray and then put them on Sandy's table. "No, Lily, you should not do that. It might deduct from your diligence. You worked hard to bake all of this, and you ought to show it off. Don't dim your day because of me," Sandy said, already pushing away the tray. "Enough, Sandy. If you think that I'll glow while my friend doesn't have one baked good to her name, then you do not know the meaning of friendship." "I have an excessive amount on my tray," she remarked, "and you are offending me." "Your mother will no longer be upset with you when she sees that you have things to show." "Thank you," Sandy said, feeling emotions of gratitude choking her. "That's what friends do," Lily whispered, and the pixie baking spree continued, with all the fairies having fun, from scones to pies to cakes to cookies, frostings of varied kinds, and toppings that make your tongue water. Are you able to imagine the table? It looks delicious. And Sandy's mother could hold her head high and claim that her daughter had baked a wonder. She would not grumble on her daughter tonight. Today they had announced the science fair was in the pixie world. Many fairies were excited to go. "Nonsense, only plebs would attend such nonsense," Mother said together with an air of authority, and each of the pixie mothers nodded in agreement. "No child of mine would darken the gates of that comical event. How dare they think that we might lower ourselves to combined with such dirty things as grease and machinery? It might be a nightmare to a tinker with those things. How they'll ruin your hair and ruin your clothes," said Mrs. Buttercup, pinching her nose in disgust. "You won't be able to get rid of those stains for years to come." "Indeed," all the lazy ladies nodded in agreement, and Sandy felt her heart drop. It was a disaster. She found herself running through the green fields to Lily's house. "I hate being there in that house," were the first words out of Sandy's mouth the moment that she barged into Lily's room. Lily looked at her confused and dropped the cookbook she had been reading. "What's the problem?" she asked, looking around like she could catch an explanation from Sandy's lousy mood, and melted into a pulp with her glowing green eyes. "No one ever cares about what I want, and now they won't let me attend the science fair," Sandy said, falling onto Lily's bed as she pulled her eyes out. "Oh, Sandy, I'm sorry." Sandy cried for hours and hours before she finally fell asleep. And when she awakened, Lily had just the answer for her problem. "I know what we're going to do," Lily said excitedly. Sandy rubbed the sleep from her eyes. Her beautiful red hair was ruffled and looks like a robin's nest. She tried to smooth it down but gave up when it simply wouldn't obey her. "What?" asked Lily. "Well, we'll have a talk together with your mum." "Are you crazy? My mother would have a fit if she knew I was curious about the science fair. And just imagine what she would say if she heard I had plans to travel to it." "And there lies your problem, Sandy. You'll hide your dreams, you'll bury them, but if you do not fight for them, nobody else will do this for you. And that is the fact of life," Lily said with a knowing passion in her eyes. "But I just want to travel to the science fair. Does there need to be a war about it? Can't I just be what I want to be? Why does life need to be this way?" Sandy said, standing up, pacing the room. "Sandy, you'll either mope about the choices life gives you, but otherwise you can get up and make the best of it for yourself. And so far, Sandy, you are simply moping. And honestly, life doesn't work that way. Our tears won't suddenly make things happen, and complaints made under our breath won't move the planet. It is our actions that give us what we want in life," Lily said. And every single trace of her mischievous smile was gone. She was a fierce pixie, able to give her friend the insight that she needed. "How does one know these things, Lily? It isn't like you faced any issues," Sandy said, scoffing. "You'll be shocked," she said with a sad smile. And then she came to take a seat beside Sandy. "I am the best seamstress in the whole of Pixieland." "Wonder how that came about?" Lily asked. "Your parents allowed you to pursue your dreams, unlike mine," Sandy said dryly. "No, for a while I didn't say anything. I just pretended to be happy. I kept everything inside and suffered. I finally told my parents my passion, and I kept pushing until I got what I wanted. My very own sewing set, and therefore permission to chase my dreams. You can mutter all you like, Sandy, but if you do not tell your mother, and you really tell her, she will never understand what you really want and what your passions truly are." Sandy was not entirely convinced by what her friend had said. After all, it seemed crazy to tell her mother. The ranting had been going on for hours, and Sandy was about to apologise for this whole thing. But Lily's voice kept nagging at her. "Mum," she finally spoke up, I've always wanted to do these things. I've done all you've asked me to do. Give me this one chance to do what I would like for a change. I want to make a machine and know that I made it with my hands and have the entire world see it. All I would like is to..." She stopped when she saw her mother's shocked expression. "What?" Sandy asked, looking around for what had caused her mother's placid colour. "I've just never heard you speak with so much passion before, and it's different. It's... So you'll let me go? Her mother frowned. I'll think about it. The following day, her mother awakened. She had made an announcement that dashed all hope Sandy had envisioned. To attend the science fair, you should do all the things on the list, and if I see that they're satisfactory, I just might let you go. I'm the best baker in Pixie World. No daughter of mine should be useless when it comes to baking, she huffed and closed the door behind her. Sandy stared at the list in her hands. Sandy hurried to Lily's house, looking very troubled, holding her mother's list in her hands. Then she told Lily what her mother had said. Can't you see? It's perfect, Lily said. What's perfect about this? I'm not a baker. I'm a scientist. I don't want to do this, Sandy answered, looking defeated. Sandy, get your head out of the dumps and concentrate on the chance before you. But I don't have the skills to bake, said Sandy. But you'll learn, Lily shot back. What if I don't want to? Lily frowned at her words. Sandy, simply because we have a particular dream doesn't mean that we will always be bad at everything else. Dreams give us the thrill, but there are other activities to teach us discipline, and a disciplined mind can do wonders with a dream. We put ourselves in a box and we don't explore as many things as possible, simply because you're keen on science. Doesn't mean that you cannot be good at baking. We're fairies, Sandy. Multitasking is in us. Don't throw away your capabilities. You'll be good at numerous things, not only one. Come on. Sandy gave her a sceptical look, but she had planted a seed. The kitchen was a joy to behold. After weeks of practice, Sandy was baking the most delicious desserts that she'd ever made, and there was no way that her mother could say no. Now, if only she knew how to make the chocolate Alf bagel. She'd never seen anyone except Betsy make it, and she was sure Betsy wouldn't dream of teaching her. What are we getting to do? Lily asked. I enjoyed baking. It's so much fun. I cannot believe how much I deceived myself when I was concentrating on being good at one thing. Only a scientist. She picked up a cupcake and took a bite. This taught me that I can be hooked on something and still enjoy doing other things. I simply do not have to place myself in a box. Many thanks, Lily. The two girls hugged, and the mild knock sounded at the door. Can you guess who it was? Betsy. She was holding a chocolate Alf bagel. The next 2 hours saw Betsy teaching Sandy how to make a chocolate Alf bagel. And now Sandy had finally got the hang of it. Thank you, Sandy whispered, embarrassed about how wrong she had been about Betsy. The lady was gentle and kind, and the only reason her head was always in the clouds was that she was literally a dreamer. Betsy wanted to be a writer. They had spent 2 hours laughing, learning, and making the best baked goods ever. Thank you, Sandy said to both the girls. You've both taught me so much. And me too, Betsy said gently. And how you decided to take your chances and tell your mother about the science fair. It's been the news all around, and I finally found the nerve to tell my mother that I wanted to be a writer. Sandy gasped. What did she say? Lily asked gently. Betsy nodded an excited yes. Sandy got permission to travel to the science fair, and oh, what a science fair it was. Aren't we all alike? More alike than we expected. We all have dreams, and we're afraid of not being able to make them come true. But we all have to stay determined and use our friends' support to get to where we'd like to be. Now, take a relaxing breath and shut your eyes to sleep. Ignore all the distractions and let your mind focus. Make your own story where you overcome your present difficulties and have your dreams come true, because you're not alone. Well, my darlings, that was a nice story, wasn't it? I enjoyed that story. I'm sorry that I've been fluctuating between hushed talking and whispering. It's kind of just a reflex now. But I hope you enjoyed the story. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any tips or requests, I know you guys want more mummy things, but I just wanted to get this one out there for you so that you have a little dose of jazz. But I will do a mummy video again soon, because I know that you will really enjoy it. Okay, I'll catch you soon.